My boyfriend changed into a different person after we moved in together. He refuses to accept that I don't want to be his girlfriend anymore, and I'm scared. Posted by you/Iowabird78. My 46F boyfriend, 38M James refuses to let me end the relationship. We've been together for a little over a year and have been living together since November. Before we moved in together, things were good. We lived in different areas, so most of our time together was over weekends. We got along well, talked often, phone and text, did things together, met each other's families, etc. If any issues arose, we talked about them and worked it out. That's why we decided to move in together. That's when things changed. After moving in together, he started becoming more and more clingy, wanting to spend every available minute together. He started staying home a lot. I work from home. Suddenly, we were constantly together. It started to become an issue. But when I tried to talk to him about it, it was somehow my fault he was being that way. I wasn't giving him quality time, because being in the same room with someone isn't being together, just occupying the same space. So I made it a point to give him one-on-one time, without distractions, daily. It got worse. He started throwing tantrums. We'd get invited somewhere, and at the last minute, he'd decide he didn't want to go but said it was fine if I did. I wouldn't be gone 30 minutes before he'd start texting me, and he'd text nonstop the whole time. If I stopped answering, I'd get messages like, "I won't be here when you get back," or, "You're not going to like what you find when you do get back." Then, when I did get back, regardless of whether I came back right away or hours later, he'd be crying and telling me how neglectful and dismissive I was of his feelings. At first, I listened and apologized, and tried to be more mindful. But then his insecurities started. He began questioning if there was someone else. He said it was his insecurities, nothing I was doing, but that it was better to voice them and get my reassurance than to let them fester. That made sense the first time, maybe the second time, but not the 15th time. We started arguing. When exactly would I have time for someone else? We are never apart for more than 10 minutes. It just got worse. He started arguments over nothing. Nothing would be going on, nothing would happen, he'd just come into the room yelling. He's read my journals. He either goes through my phone or has installed spyware on it. He questions me about things I've written in the journal or text messages, then tries to lie and say he read them over my shoulder. This week has been the worst yet. We were out for dinner, and he decided it was the appropriate time to discuss things in our relationship, at a very public, intimate dinner setting. We had been having a good day, no arguing, both enjoying ourselves and laughing not 5 minutes before. I was immediately uncomfortable and very much on guard. I don't like airing my dirty laundry, and he knows this. He insisted on talking about it right then. I said it wasn't the place or time. He wouldn't stop. I wasn't engaging. After a few minutes of this, he decided we needed to leave because my demeanor was making him look bad. Everyone could see something was wrong, and it was making him look bad. We got up and left without eating a meal we'd already paid for. On the way home, I started to quietly cry, and he started yelling. He was driving erratically and too fast. I told him to slow down. He slammed on the brakes, from 77 to a full stop in the middle of the interstate, twice. We are lucky we didn't cause an accident and hurt other people. He wouldn't let me out. This went on for the whole 2-hour ride home. I ended it that night. I told him it's over. I'm not doing this anymore. That car ride was the last straw. He refuses to leave. He says if I want him out, I'll have to evict him. He begs, he cries, he takes my keys so I can't leave, he threatens to kill himself. I don't want to go to my aunt's because she doesn't need the drama. I have no other family close. I have nowhere else to go. I can start the eviction process, but that takes a month or longer. He just keeps saying he can get better. I don't care if he can. I don't know what to do. Am I really going to have to deal with this until I can evict him? The police here won't do anything because he hasn't physically assaulted me. I tried a civil no-contact order, the judge said the same thing. I called a lawyer, same thing. Until he physically assaults me, there's nothing they can do to help me. How do I handle this? /relevant comments. Commenter. Change the locks and keep your keys hidden, even hide keys outside the home or with a trusted neighbor. In the meantime, during the eviction, just live like he isn't there, no conversations, no doing his laundry, no cooking for him, no reminding him of appointments, nothing. Also, take his key to your vehicle. Change all access to your money and update all your passwords. Commenter 2. I can't even imagine being nearly 50 years old and saying something as ridiculous as my boyfriend won't let me end the relationship. This is something teenagers think. Ops response. I couldn't agree more. I felt ridiculous even typing it. Someone else said, I didn't know you could do that. Neither did I. Op clarifies her past relationships after commenters saw her post history referencing multiple different men. For clarification, I've been married once. He was abusive and was sleeping with his first wife behind my back. Once my divorce was final, 2014, he remarried his first wife. She died less than a year later under mysterious circumstances. 2 years after the divorce, he died of a massive heart attack. He has a son that I raised for years, who is 17 now. My boyfriend died in 2017. He fell asleep while driving home from work, graveyard shift, crossed the center line, and hit a semi head-on. The steering column was pushed into his chest, broke his ribs, and a rib punctured his heart. He was pronounced dead at the scene. He was a mile from home. The next one was in 2018, he cheated and was an alcoholic. We split up in October of 2023. I met my current boyfriend in December of 2023. I know that's not much time between the last two. Also, I'm not questioning whether I should get out of the relationship, just how to handle this until I can get him out of my house. I own my home, so there is no landlord to speak of. I've called the police, a lawyer, and my county judge. I'll say that since he hasn't physically assaulted me, there is nothing they can do to help. Update 4 months later. It's been 4 months, and I thought I'd post an update. I took some of the advice and filed for eviction a week after my original post. I switched bedrooms and placed locks on my bedroom and office doors. I tried to stay calm and not engage in arguments, doing my best to keep things smooth until the eviction. He was not having it. He would go from crying to talking calmly to yelling, daily. The more I refused to engage, the more volatile and aggressive he became. If I didn't respond to him within 5 minutes, whether by text or in person, I was accused of ignoring him. It didn't matter if I was working, driving, doing things around the house, or just sitting at home. It was exhausting, and I was just counting the days. Approximately 1 week before the eviction, he was sending me texts while sitting in the same room. I finally told him I wasn't going to answer another message. He sent 3 more long texts. I set my phone down and got up to leave the room. He attacked me before I got to the doorway. He knocked me to the ground, slammed my head and arm against the floor, tried to force himself on me, and then headbutted me, giving me 2 black eyes. After this, he took my phone, loaded his things into the car, and left. This happened on a Friday evening. My cousin and a friend came to stay with me for the weekend. That night, my friend found a hidden camera in my fireplace. I took pictures and disconnected it. We spent the rest of the weekend looking for others. We didn't find any more, but we did find a GPS tracker on my car. We also found that my basement door, the one that leads outside, had been tampered with. Additionally, the interior basement door, which has a chain lock, had the bracket screws clipped short and then pushed back into the frame. It would hold with no pressure, but with just a bit of force, it wouldn't, rendering the lock useless. I documented and took pictures of everything. He continued to call and make threats all weekend. He said he went back to his hometown, but I don't think he did. I think he sat in his car watching my house all weekend. The following Monday, I filed for a no-contact order through the courts. That same day, he was arrested on his way back to his hometown, on unrelated charges. I was granted the no-contact order. He is still in jail. The last couple of months have been an emotional struggle. I didn't realize how much of a toll all of this had taken on my mental health. I've been looking into therapy, it couldn't hurt at this point. My physical injuries have healed, with no permanent damage, just swelling and bruising. That's it. I've just been working on myself. He's still in jail and I'm unsure of when he'll be released, but I'll be notified when he is. Thank you to everyone who gave advice, I really appreciate those who responded and helped. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Just to clarify something, he got your phone and left, but then called you over the weekend? Op's response. Yes, he took my phone while he packed his things. He didn't take it with him, he gave it back as he was walking out the door. Commenter 2. What a nightmare, I'm so sorry he put you through all of this. There is no way on this green earth that this is the first time your ex has gone off the rails. There are online services in the US where you can search for an individual's criminal record or history of restraining orders. You can also apply directly to some law enforcement agencies with just a name, date of birth, and places they've lived, I believe. I think you might find it valuable to understand the history of this person, who his other victims have been, and what they did to move on from this abusive stalker. Start educating yourself on how to stay safe. The Strictly Stalking podcast will help you feel less alone in this nightmare. Also, read The Gift of Fear by Gavin de Becker. You definitely need to speak to someone to help you work through what just happened, but also to help you understand how to make better choices, or at least recognize the signs more quickly. Sounds like you have a trusting heart, and unfortunately, that can be exploited by predators like your recent ex. Also, whoever you see for therapy should be familiar with vulnerable narcissists, NPD. If they aren't, they might not be much help. Op's response: You are correct, he has priors. He was imprisoned in a different state. He trapped his ex-wife inside their home by screwing the doors shut, lit the house on fire, and drove away. She was able to escape through a bathroom window. I can't remember the exact charges he was convicted of, but he spent 6 years in prison. I feel very foolish. Op on being told to sell the house and move to a place the boyfriend doesn't know. The house I live in was my grandparents' home. My aunt, whom I helped take care of, lives just down the street. My son, who lives in an adult assisted living facility, is also here. I know it would be best to move, but I don't think I could sell my grandparents' home or leave my aunt and son, though I know staying is a bad idea. Op on reporting the assault and getting counseling. Assault, I tried. I called the police station and spoke with an officer. Unfortunately, I'm a felon, drug charges from 2009. I did some time in prison and was discharged in 2014. I haven't been in trouble or returned to that life since. When I called to report it, the officer who took my call was one of the officers involved in the raid on my home when I got my charges. Once he asked for my name and I told him, his response was, "Oh, well, can't help you." I asked what to do if he couldn't help me. He said I could try to file a no-contact order through the courts. So that's what I did. Counseling, I've started looking into it. I've got to find one that my insurance approves. Op adds an edit to her post. I really appreciate everyone's advice and concern, it truly means a lot. I decided to heed everyone's advice and move. I went and spoke to my aunt and told her everything. I had previously told her very little. She has offered to buy the house so it can stay in the family. We've also found someone to come twice a week to help her with household tasks and arranged a daily meal delivery service. I've also spoken with my son, and he assures me that he is and will be okay. He'd rather I be safe. I work from home, but my boss is helping transfer me to a different office and assured me that I don't have to wait for that to happen before I move. I'm also now working with a DV organization. I've been in contact with an advocate who is helping me navigate through all of this. I'm overwhelmed and stressed, but I'm doing what I need to do so that I'm safe. I'm sad and disappointed in myself for putting my family in this situation and making them have to rearrange their lives because of my bad choices.